Hello there, it's Mario here. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying warm if you're in a place where it's getting really cold right now. Actually, these last couple of days it's been getting really damn cold. I'm staying close to this fireplace. I don't know what's going on. Usually it's not this cold in this area of Europe, but I don't know, some weird things happening. Speaking of the last couple of days, there's a few things that I want to share with you, some stuff that has been going on with me. Let me just grab a seat here. Share a couple of stuff that I've been thinking about as well as what's going on. As you can see, I'm a little bit messed up right now. So why am I messed up? Well, last week I felt like I had the strongest week ever, right? I hit a PR on bench press, hit 122.5 kg for 6 reps. Was really clean, was really nice. I was very proud. Did some awesome volume on squats, did great on dumbbell overhead pressing. And I felt like it was one of my best weeks ever. But at the end of the week, and this was something that, I don't know, usually this is the way it happens, I got some weird stomach bug, right? So I ate some soup that was made out of plants that were picked in nature, and apparently my stomach didn't react to it very well. And I woke up, and I had this incredible pain in my stomach, and I couldn't literally eat anything for 36 hours. Basically for 36 hours, not only that I didn't eat anything, but I also didn't drink anything. I had just half a cup of ginger tea because I was thinking that might help, and it actually did help a little bit. So that was kind of what was happening. So it was from like the top to the bottom within 24 hours. And it was very interesting. And yeah, I mean, I'm not bragging that the 36-hour fast is something special. I know that people do much longer fast and even without water and things like that. That's, depending on your goals, right? But it was kind of interesting, right? I was trying to stay away from social media a little bit. I had a little bit of a high temperature as well. And now today I actually woke up, I had a half a banana, was really good, and I think I'm gonna be able to move on and continue training, and this week is gonna be awesome. But during this time, I actually was thinking about a lot of things, and I was reading a couple of emails that I've been getting from you guys, and a lot of the emails were about pursuing the goals, and a lot of emails were about how to get to a certain goal, because still we're in the period where the goals are kind of the hot topic of the day, of the week, of the month. And what was interesting there is that what inspired me to actually think a little bit about the difference between types of pursuing the goal, right? You can pursue a goal in multiple different ways, and two kind of stand out, right? One interesting pursuit of a goal is, let's say if someone is a really strong visionary, so it's kind of a vision pursuit. You're pursuing a goal when you're thinking about the vision, you're highly motivated, you're thinking about the future, you're thinking about how great it's gonna be, and you're inspired, you're passionate. You can really plow through a lot of things. You can really go head through the wall if necessary. You can figure things out because you're so passionate about it. I wouldn't use the word motivated here because motivation is kind of like, has a different context here. So I would use the word passion or grit or perseverance, probably fits the category better, because if you have that strong vision, you can really go through a hell if you know that you're gonna get there. And on the other hand, it's kind of a continuum again, right? We have the vision continuum, but then on the other hand, we have a 100% realistic, logical, intellectual approach to achieving a goal, right? So on one hand, we have a vision, which is kind of motivation, thinking less about the process and more about the journey and the goal. Here, you're actually just focused mainly on the process, and you're focused mainly on those day-to-day actions, and you're mainly thinking it from a perspective of the grind. You know, I have to grind to get to a goal. And you can clearly see the pros and cons of each approach, right? So the pros of, let's say, the logical approach is that you're clearly focused on taking action. You're gonna put in the effort, you're gonna follow a process, you're gonna go back and forth, you're gonna really put in the work. The con of the, let's say, of the logical approach would be the lack of motivation, right? Because the grind itself is not necessarily that motivating. You know, it's usually, it's actually really hard, and it's quite painful at certain times. And a lot of, if you're just stuck in the grind, you will miss out on, you won't be very happy until you reach the goal. I'm not saying that you won't reach the goal, but you're not necessarily gonna be happy about yourself, and you're not gonna be really enthusiastic to wake up every day. It's gonna be, oh shit, I have to do the goal again, right? I have to do all these things today. While on the other hand, the vision approach, I mean, the pro obviously is the motivation, the passion, and all of that, but the con is that you're not necessarily thinking about the right steps to do, and it's kind of easy to fall off track because eventually that vision will die down if you're not getting results, right? So the results thing is the issue here, because if you're not focused on the process at all, you can visualize all day, you can think about it, the law of attraction, all of that all day sitting here, but you're not gonna get better at squats if you don't go to the gym and do better at that. And one other, I guess the pro that I would see of the vision approach is that it will usually go for greatness. You know, when we're talking about big visions, when we're talking about big passions, we're actually thinking much bigger, and we're aiming much bigger than, let's say, the logical side, which is a kind of a negative of it, is that we usually stop at good enough. And that's just the way our brains work. I mean, after a certain threshold, after you're kind of good, logically, it's kind of hard to go to great. And I'm sure you guys are able to resonate with this, and definitely leave your comments in the below the video. I'm thinking that the logical approach, I mean 100% logical approach in that extreme, is lacking in the ability to take it from good to great. Because that final edge to really go for that last 10%, for that last effort, you need a little bit of passion. You need a little bit of love for the sport. You need a little bit of a higher reason for doing this, right? So the process itself isn't going to provide that. You know, it's not going to be as strong of a motivation or as strong as a reason for you to push that final thing or really challenge yourself to really aim for the stars, right? And that's the thing that I see, and the way I kind of view it. Ideally, what we would aim for is really having a balance between the vision and the logic. So between somewhere in there, there's a space where you are highly motivated, you do have that strong vision, you remind yourself of the vision, let's say monthly or something like that, depending on your schedule. And at the same time, you're also focused on the day-to-day process, which is the logical side, where it kind of gives you the grind, gives you the work, but this also gives you the motivation, gives you really the purpose. So you would be happy, and at the same time you would be able to put in the work and really aim for that greatness. So that's something I wanted to share with you guys, and also a couple of studies that inspired me to talk about this as well. I mean, we know from looking at the weight loss studies that people that aim big actually achieve a lot better results than people who quote unquote keep it real. And I know you guys watching my videos, you know that I like to talk about keeping it real. But a lot of it is really advice that we have to contextualize properly. So sometimes it's great to keep it real, but sometimes just aiming for something big can give you that motivation to really overcome a certain obstacle when it comes to, let's say, a challenge that is really hardcore. So you can't necessarily logically motivate yourself or get yourself to go through that, but if you have that passion at the same time, you will be able to go through that. So that's something I wanted to share with you here. Let me know in the comments below, resonate with this, how does this feel? I'm definitely going to be thinking about this a lot more, maybe turn into a more in-depth video. Usually end up thinking about these weird topics when I'm off social media for a little bit of time, and when I'm just leaving myself with my own thoughts. So that's kind of what's happening here. So I'm happy to be able to share that with you guys. As I said, let me know in the comments how this resonated with you, and make sure to hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already. If you're interested in achieving more in your life, and if you find these videos helpful, definitely hit that subscribe button below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.